Every football fan knows this smile, but many ignore that this radiant face has overcome huge obstacles. Before being a superstar, Sadio Mané faced death. He stood up to the authority of his relatives. Absolutely nothing predestined him for a football career. But thanks to his courage and determination, he made his dream come true. From a very young age, Sadio Mané understood that the most important thing was to believe in yourself. With a lot of work and self-sacrifice, everything is possible. So, if you're afraid to take the leap, get inspired by Sadio Mané's incredible journey. Sadio Mané's story begins far away from the football fields. He grew up in Bambali, a small village in southwestern Senegal. His father, the local imam, was very strict in the education of his children. The boy quickly found his passion on the sandy fields. At only 5 years old, little Mané fell madly in love with football. It was a normal childhood, like the childhoods of all children my age, going to school, playing in the street with friends, spending time at home with my family. I started playing in the streets and on a pitch in my home village. Wasn't the best pitch, but we tried to make do because that's the kind of pitch you find where I'm from. The young man balanced between studying at Quranic school and working in the fields. But he knew that this life was not for him. Sadio dreamed of something else. He decided to skip school to play football. And when this reached his parents' ears, sanctions were terrible. When I did something wrong, my mom or uncle would hit me. I was hit quite a few times because, for example, I wasn't going to school. Sometimes I would come home with a friend, and I knew I was in danger of being beaten up for not going to school. As a child, young Sadio envisioned himself playing on the most beautiful fields in the world. But reality was very different. In his family, football was not taken seriously. I remember that when I was little, my parents felt that I should study to become a teacher. They thought football was a waste of time and I'd never succeed at it. I always said, "This is the only job that will enable me to help you, and I think I have a chance to become a footballer." But no one believed in him. Completely disarmed, Sadio felt terribly lonely. He couldn't understand why no one would allow him to pursue his passion, to pursue his dream. Then, a new twist shattered that dream. I was playing football in my village field. My brother came and said, "Our father has passed away." I didn't believe it. He had a stomachache, and since there was no hospital, they took him to the healer in another village. Things got complicated, and he died there. At that time, there was a rebellion, so they buried him there. At 7 years old, Sadio was only a child. There's nothing more heartbreaking than losing a parent at this age. It was 1999, and there was little hope left. And yet, Sadio Mané did not give up. By 2002, he was definitely convinced. Seduced by the Senegalese team at the World Cup, he knew that his destiny lied in football. Having dreams is one thing, but making them come true is another. Living far from the capital, his chances of succeeding were very small. The teenager had to make a decision: stay or leave to succeed. The Bambalese boy did not hold back for too long. I prepared everything thoroughly, knowing that I had no money at all. The day before, I hid my duffel bag in the tall grass so I wouldn't be caught out. And early the next morning, I took off without telling anyone except my best friend. A friend lent him money to take the bus to Dakar. There, Sadio took part in some promising training sessions. In the meantime, his whole family was looking for him. His best friend finally confessed everything. My parents called and asked me to come home. I didn't want to because I was ashamed to come back. But I finally gave in and made them promise to let me try once my school year was over. Despite the short time spent in the capital, Sadio was spotted. His uncle agreed to let him meet trainers. Times were hard, and Sadio showed up with worn-out shoes. This did not matter because he proved to be incredible. His dream came a little closer when he joined AS Generation Foot, the gateway to the professional world. Sometime later, the Senegalese signed in France with FC Metz. But his mother didn't even know about it. I had no credit on my phone card to call my mother and tell her that I had gone to France. The next day, I went with some friends to buy one. I called her and told her, "Hello, Mom, I'm in France." She said, "What? Which France?" At first, his mother did not believe him. She kept calling him every day to find out if he was telling the truth. She was convinced that Sadio was still in the country with his uncle. She didn't believe me until one day I told her to go watch TV to see me play. She finally understood that my dream of becoming a footballer had come true. Even his own mother couldn't keep up with his incredible rise. And yet, it was real. Upon his arrival in Europe, Sadio Mané was shocked. It was only -5 degrees Celsius. But still not enough to stop his enthusiasm. Unfortunately, things started very badly. The young man suffered from pubalgia. The road to reach the top was still very long, but Sadio was determined, and injuries did not scare him. He started working relentlessly. In the morning, he used to leave his boarding school at dawn to go for a run. In just a few months, his progress was amazing. Then, Sadio signed in Salzburg the following season for $5 million. I didn't know Salzburg. I didn't even know where it was. When my agent told me about it, I Googled the club and the country. It was really important for me to go there. It was in Salzburg that I learned real football. I've never regretted my choice. In Austria, he thrived. The young Mané scored 45 goals in 87 games. Enough to seduce a Premier League team. In 2014, Sadio moved to Southampton for $27 million. And once again, the Senegalese excelled and performed brilliantly. He earned himself a reputation of poison for the defenders. He could be decisive at any time. His performances caught the eye of a man who took him to the next level, Jurgen Klopp. In 2016, the German recruited Sadio Mané in Liverpool for the tidy sum of $50 million. In the English city of football, the Bambali striker became a sensation. He emerged and became an important asset to the team. So much that Jurgen Klopp regretted not to have recruited him earlier in his career. He still doesn't know why he turned him down. But the most important thing is that they finally found each other. Sadio Mané was given all the trust he deserved. It's also thanks to this that Liverpool has found the way to glory once again. Since childhood, Sadio Mané has proven that you should never give up. No matter what your dreams are, you must always believe in yourself. Some people unable to do so will say that it is impossible, that you are a dreamer. Don't be ashamed to be a dreamer. Believe in your dreams. But to achieve your goals, you have to fight till the end. Sadio Mané made it through because he worked hard. He took criticisms and he turned them into motivation. He used this motivation to become a real champion. So, if you have dreams, don't forget that Sadio Mané started from nowhere and that you can do it too.